as your frontal lobe develops, you realize how dumb you were some time ago. Now, this is a complete story of how I decided to move to a different side of the world when I was 21 with no money. Okay, and it's making me really, really angry. How dumb was I to make such an irrational decision? I would never do this again. It was only 6 months ago, okay? And zero analysis was made at that time, and it's pissing me off. Okay, without further ado, this is the complete story. Now, my parents were living in Finland. I was living in America for a year, and homeless man stole all my money, and I was broke in America. So I decided that I'm gonna move to my parents' house in Finland. Now, that was awesome. I found some friends, I found a great chess community, and then I found my minimum wage job. The only issue was my parents were moving again to Eastern Europe. They said, "Lena, come with us." I said, "Hell no, you guys are on your own on this one." Now, they moved July 2025, and I started streaming June 2025, okay? And I was averaging like four viewers. Hey, I was thankful for that, okay? And I was working my job, renting my apartment, and hanging out with my friends. The best summer ever, not gonna lie. But then I realized that the winter is approaching, and I need to make a decision fast, and I need to move somewhere else because it's cold and depressing, and I just don't want to be in that environment no longer. So it was September. I had a couple $100 to my name. I decided that I'm gonna move in November 17th. I'm moving. The issue was with that was my parents would, of course my parents are pastors, just a backstory. They would not subsidize me. No one else would subsidize me either. So it was on me, okay? And I was just looking to ways, how can I get some money? So I was babysitting a little bit. I was translating, I was streaming, and I was working my minimum wage job, okay? I was trying to make the ends meet. I was trying to pay my bills and save enough money for me to move. And it really seemed like an impossible mission, but somehow I was delulu enough to think that I can make it to Australia. So now, one takeaway, if you take away anything from the story, is no matter how dumb you are, if you have a dream and you just jump, every single star in the universe will align for you to complete it. I don't know how it works. It's really be the dumb people. It's really be the uncalculated decisions that work out. So, as I mentioned, my job, they were breaking some contract laws, okay? They were underpaying me. It's like they were giving me not enough hours, okay? And then, long story short, they threatened to sue me, and the manager was super disrespectful, okay? And I'm not doing good with blackmail. If you blackmail me, I'm gonna come for your throat, okay? Luckily, she met me at 21 and not at 17, okay? Luckily. I had a little bit more maturity at 21 that would have had back then. She would have gotten the crazy me. Probably would not like that. Anyway, so long story short, they blackmailed me, and then I went to the war with them, joined the union, and got some money. I got enough money for a one-way ticket and a visa. You know what? And I was thankful for that. I do not want anything that I don't deserve. That's not true. Scratch that. I'm not gonna edit this video, but scratch that. Nothing that I've accomplished I deserve. So anyway, Next thing you know, I get my one-way ticket. Now the next problem is I need somewhere to stay. And the date was approaching. I had nowhere to stay. I think I was moving in I think it was like 2 weeks away. And I asked this one girl from, we're both part of this social justice group, and I was like, hey, I'm in this trouble. She said, yes, absolutely. She said that's a great coincidence. How about you move into my parents' house? I just need a couple weeks, okay, guys? I just needed a couple weeks. My Delulu brain thought, I'm gonna come to Australia, get a job, get an apartment right away. Everything is just gonna be smooth like butter. Okay, I thought I'm gonna make it. I thought this is the easiest thing ever. Everyone else in my life, they understood how crazy I sound. They were trying to stop me. They said, how about you stay? My parents were like, stay in Eastern Europe a little bit. Get your money up, then you can do whatever you want. My friends were like, stay in Finland, get your money up, and then do whatever you want. I said, no. I said, I'm gonna move to Australia with no money. So there's a little step that I skipped, is I sold almost all my clothes. I was lucky enough to get some money from my translating gigs. So overall, I gathered maybe I had like 2,500. Okay? Had 2,500. So I come to Australia. Sorry, a couple days before that, the girl actually texted me and she was like, actually, like, I don't think this is a good fit. I don't think, before that, she was like, yeah, stay with my family for as long as you want. Like, please, Lena, like, I know you're also a pastor's kid. Yes, stay at our house. We got you. I was like, perfect. I'm gonna stay with them for a couple weeks, and then I'm gonna get my apartment. And then she's like, actually, I don't think it's a good fit. And I was like, wait, hello? I was okay, cool. And then I was streaming one of the days. And then this girl raised me. The girl is Sophie Davey. And she's from Australia. And I was like, oh, actually, I'm moving to Australia. And she's like, no way, where? I said, Melbourne. She's like, oh, no way, I live in Melbourne. I was like, okay, cool. And then she's like, you should hang out with me and Hannah. And then one of my chatters in the chat, they were like, yeah, you should definitely get connected with Hannah. I was like, Hannah is like 50 times more followers than me. I don't think Hannah's gonna notice me at all. I said, I don't think this is happening. Okay, respectfully, who is me and who's her? Okay, this ain't happening. We will never be friends. 2 minutes later, Hannah follows me on Instagram and says, hi girlie, I know you're coming to Australia. If you need anything ever, let me know. The audacity that I had to ask Hannah if I can stay at her place. Mind you, never met with her. The audacity that I had. She said absolutely. I'm coming to Australia. I'm staying in her streaming. I'm sleeping in her streaming room. They're the nicest family ever. I love her parents so much. And Hannah is obviously super nice. So they let me stay. And then I'm looking online and I'm trying to find an apartment. And then I see this beautiful number. I see this beautiful, beautiful apartment, and I think I could never afford this. But I still book it. Like, I look online, and it has the most beautiful windows, most beautiful, like, everything. It's just my dream apartment. I cannot afford. And I'm thinking, let me still have a look at it. Okay, so I looked at one apartment in St. Kilda, and then I looked at this apartment, and as soon as me and Hannah work together, as soon as we walk in, and I said, this is mine. This is my dream apartment. I want to live here. And I knew it. I literally knew it in my heart, this is mine. Okay? And I know all these other foreigners, like, I know it takes them months to get an apartment. And there's like a lot of people betting on apartments and trying to get one. And this was the first apartment that I saw online, and then I knew it was mine. And then was the second apartment that we inspected. And then I could not afford. Next thing you know, a couple of days later, I send every single money that I have to the landlord, so I can get this apartment. And then I have maybe a couple hundred, and then I'm praying that I'm gonna get a job. Okay, and I'm thinking there's no way I'm gonna make it. At this point, I'm like, I don't know. So I had 1 month, like you need to pay 1 month rent, and then you had to pay second month rent as a deposit, right? So I had 1 month until I had to pay rent again. And I thought, surely I'm gonna have a job. Surely everyone's gonna want me. Oh my gosh, surely I'll have a job with zero education. So I applied to 200 jobs. I did not have a job. One thing that I did have is I was streaming every single day, 8 to 10 hours a day. With God's provision on Twitch, I was able to pay my rent and my bills, thank God, and Twitch. Yeah, so it's been November, December, January, February, March. It's been 5 months. It's been 5 months, and I'm really, really grateful for the Delulu that decided to move here. I'm really happy. I don't have many friends at all. I celebrated my birthday alone, and I don't know what's next. But somehow I'm still alive, and somehow I moved to Australia, in my dream country. And I'm surviving without a job. So that's awesome news. That's it. And I really need a sponsor. If only there was like a drink company that could sponsor me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I inspired you guys to do the little things without calculating them. And